Carolina Sports here with the great John David Jackson. Tell us, man, biggest fight, Sergey just said it was the biggest fight of his career, he feels. How's camp and everything go?
Camp is good. Sergey's on schedule. We have 2.5 weeks left. We definitely get on schedule, for hopefully the biggest performance of his life that night. Camp is good. He realized what he has to do. He can't go look for one punch knockout against Ward. He has to be smart and be calculated in his attack. And he definitely realized what's ahead of him. So camp is going good and he's right on schedule.
He was just saying that he's up to 12 rounds of sparring now. How many sparring partners do you bring him for those 12 rounds?
We try to bring in 4. Right now we have 3. So they do 4 rounds each. 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 30 seconds each round. And he looks good. He's definitely, the wind is up, so he's definitely ready. This will be the last week of the 12 round, and then we start breaking it back down next week. 10, 8, and 6. But he's definitely on course. He looks good.
Do you give the sparring partners yourself tips on kind of things to do like Ward does, just to try to get Sergey ready for maybe different tricks that Ward does or things like that?
Sometimes. I want them to emulate Ward as close as possible. That's not always easy to do, but if they can do it, just give me certain things that Ward does and try to emulate it so we can maybe not have a carbon copy of Ward, but enough to allow us to work on things that we need to work on for fight night.
Sergey was saying right now that he sees this fight as a 50-50 fight, but that prior fights of his, he's always saw himself as a bigger favorite. So how is it, Ward's kind of known to taking guys out of his game plan, kind of disrupting what they do. How do you prevent, say, if rounds start getting away from Kovalev, for those that 50% Ward in his mind to kind of not creep in and kind of start kind of doing what other opponents do and just kind of let Andre Ward take over? How do you prevent that mentally?
Well, he has to be able to nullify a lot of things that Ward's going to do in this fight and take Ward out of his game. Having to do with power, good jab, a little bit of footwork, offsetting Ward, what Ward's going to do, and whatever traps Ward tries to set, be there to counter with the footwork to take him out of his comfort zone. If he can do those things, then it's going to play with Ward's mind. And it's going to make Ward think, okay, I'm just working, I got to do something different. And he might overthink. He might get into overthink. That's what you may want from him. But certainly, whatever he does, he can't let Ward get in comfort zone and start winning 2, 3, 4 rounds. Now you're behind the 8 ball. Now you got to play catch up. A lot of times, trying to play catch up, game plan goes out the window. Ready for knockout. We can't do that. We have to be able to put rounds in the bank where we want to. That's what Ward wants.
Definitely want to get your take on one of your former opponents, a guy that you've actually game planned against with Sergey, Bernard Hopkins. Is fighting again December 17th, 51 years old, going to be 52. Tell us what you think about that and just give us your take on the legendary career of Bernard Hopkins.
Bernard's had a wonderful career. He exceeded all his goals. He thought he was going to go. And listen, Bernard's a talented fighter, very well schooled. A lot of Bernard's training was on the job training. He learned along as he went. He didn't have an easy career. He had hard fights in the beginning. So for him to be where he's at today and this to be his last fight, I'm happy that it's his last fight. Listen, you can't keep going on with it. You've been older, brother. But I love him. He's a good man, and for me, I'm even happy because the day after Sergey's fight, I go home to Florida, and I go to Philly. I'm training Bernard for that last fight.
Oh, that's great.
I'm gonna go home, spend one day home, and I go see Bernard and get him ready for his last fight. But he's a very smart fighter, man. Bernard had a wonderful career, and to be able to do this old and not having real significant damage speaks a lot about the volume of the fighter he's become. He's becoming very defensive, not in a flashy way, but he's very defensive in a smart, calculated way, and that tells a lot about Bernard.
How did that conversation go? He just gave you a call and said, "John, I want you in my corner for the last one."
Well, no, we met up in we would meet at a cross path. And I told him, I said, man, you're my guy. You were my chief sparring partner when I was champion. And then we fought, and I became a trainer. I said, I would love to have this last fight. I'd love to be in your corner. He said, man, I want you in my corner. So we've had fights together, and he loves my work. So it was an honor for me and for him to allow me to come in for his last fight and train him for that fight. And we've been friends for years, so it's only, to me, fitting that a guy that's been there when he first started to be there at the end.
It's a great cap to his career, definitely. Can you just, quick last question, just give us a prediction on this fight with Kovalev and Ward. How do you see it going?
I say, very tactical fight. Two very smart fighters. It can go a number of ways. Certain kids with a good shot early and get them out. Certain kids with a good shot early and make Andre take Andre's game plan. Or Andre can become very evasive and make Sergey frustrated and make it a long night. In the end, I still see victory for Sergey Kovalev, either by knockout or by decision.
John David Jackson, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And best of luck with this fight and also with Bernard Hopkins.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.